Bolsonaro is one of the very few world leaders, certainly the only leader of a big country in the West, who refused to destroy his own nation's economy in response to COVID. He also raised questions about the mandatory vaccination of children. Why are we doing this? He asked. Shut up, they said. Bolsonaro himself did not take the COVID shot. He'd already recovered from COVID and believed in natural immunity. Turned out to be a smart decision. We asked him about all these decisions during our conversation. Here it is. Why didn't you take the vaccine?
Olha só, quando apareceu o vírus.
When the virus actually hit strongly in March 2020, people began to seek out the vaccine, of course, against the virus. And I, too, of course, sought a medication, because we began to see cases surfacing, started seeing the number of cases begin to go up. Now, someone who contracts the virus, like I did, the vaccine doesn't really help. You don't take a vaccine if you have already been contaminated. The vaccine would be innocuous. You should rather take the medication. And in Brazil, of course, I studied the issue. I called other countries, including in sub-Saharan Africa, and Brazilian doctors and physicians, because there were people out there who either did not catch the virus, or when they did catch the virus was not strong enough to send them to the hospital or to kill them. And in Brazil, we saw the emergence of two medications that began to be used more widely. I myself took them when contaminated. But the global pressure all over the world from the media outlets, and from the pharmaceutical companies, they were all against the early treatment. They actually focused on the vaccine. I read Pfizer's contract, and one of the clauses said, "We shall take no responsibility whatsoever for any side effect arising from the vaccine." I became concerned about that. And Congress in Brazil decided to vote and pass a piece of legislation saying that Pfizer or any other pharmaceutical company would not take responsibility for any side effect arising from the vaccine. We also had information, including from the US FDA, that several side effects are likely to emerge this year or next year in the foreseeable future. So, the concern, as mentioned by many doctors, was that people who were infected by the virus were already immune and did not have to take the vaccine. That was my case, and that's why I did not take the vaccine. But I did purchase vaccines for all Brazilians. I did not demand that people be vaccinated. I respected individual freedom. Each one was free to vaccinate or not. And I believe that about 20%